ESP villages, conducted 35 residential health camps and many medical camps in association with NGOs, Rotary clubs, Lions clubs, etc. He has been awarded by Rotary Indo-German Cultural Society for meritorious services and lifetime achievement. He is a founder, managing trustee of Vasavi Health Service as charitable trust since 1990 and a life member of many associations. Organized conferences such as Sky Doctor, seminars such as in topics as dark matter and psychology, conducted foundation courses especially for doctors, established Sky research centers at many places in and around the states. He has done researches as principal investigated as Dr. Perumalaiah specified here today, and he is undergoing Siddhi program for Kaya Siddhi under Guru Imaya Jodi Thiru Nyananda Swamigal, and he is doing his service as he has visited Himalayas and has been serving as a medical officer during his visits. Thank you, doctor, for being here and accepting our invitation. You always go above and beyond and work tirelessly towards a healthy lifestyle and outcome. We feel blessed and we all join together to have you accepted our invitation and welcome you to give this special address in today's webinar. Thank you, Dr. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Welcome you.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. கேபி ஐயா, அருணா குலானிக்கு கொஞ்சம் கோஹோஸ் கொடுத்துருங்க ஐயா. அவங்க தான் பிபிடி ஷேர் பண்ண போறாங்க. வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. பரமேஸ்வரி பரமேஸ்வரி Parameshwari, Mission Library kindly make Aruna Gulani a co-host. Aruna Gulani கொஞ்சம் co-host பண்ணிடுங்கப்பா. அவங்க PPT ஷேர் பண்ணனும்.
வாழ்கவளமுடன், they have made me the host, co-host.
டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் ஐயாவும் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காரு. டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் ஐயா ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காரு. அவருக்கும் co-host கொடுத்துருங்க.
சரிங்க. ஓகே.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Shantima, can I start?
Yes, Ayya. Yes, you can, Ayya.
டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் வந்திருக்காரு. ஐயா உங்களுக்கு கோர்ஸ் கொடுத்துருங்க.
ஐயா நான் ட்ரை பண்ண கோர்ஸ் போக மாட்டேங்குதுங்க ஐயா. நீங்க கொடுத்துறீங்க ஐயா.
இல்ல ஜெயபிரகாஷ் எங்க
ஜெயபிரகாஷ்ல இருக்குங்க ஐயா.
கீழ இருக்கா?
அர்ஜுன் அருணா கீழங்க ஐயா.
டாக்டர் நீங்க கண்டிப்பாக டாக்டர் நான் பார்த்து கொடுத்துருக்கேன்.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். டாக்டர் கே பெருமாள், டாக்டர் ஸ்வதந்திரா தேவி, டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் and Dr. Shanmugaveri, and dear beloved research scholars, I am glad to be with you now to share about the sexual vital fluid and genetic center. In Kayakalpa, the raw material with which we do Kayakalpa is the vital fluid, and the vital fluid is closely connected with the genetic center. The genetic center is the one which combines all the three: physical body, astral body, and causal body. And the three bodies are united with the genetic center in a crucial manner, that there is a direct reflection of the impact of the genetic center on the three bodies. So the vital fluid is also operates through the genetic center. So we will look into the genetic center first before we go into this thing, vital fluid. So with your permission, I'm going to show you a PPT on genetic center, so that it helps us to understand the genetic center and vital fluid and its relationship to Kayakalpa with more clarity. So genetic center. So what is the normal structure and function of the genetic center? We will see. The picture you see is that of a orange, and you will appreciate the structure of the fruit with a genetic center in it. Next. This is seen in almost all the living beings. Now this is apple, and you see the central axis and the seeds around the central axis connecting the stalk on the one side and the flower part on the other side. So next, this is tomato. Next, kiwi. The egg. Next, the carrot. The lady's finger. Almost all. Take any this thing. They all follow a similar pattern of presentation. Even a capsicum or an egg, everything is following the same architecture built by the genetic center. Next, the mosquito, the hen, and the goat, our close relative, everything. So we all have three bodies, the physical, the astral, and the causal or the magnetic body. But all the three are on the same scaffold, and we see only physical body, and the astral and causal bodies are invisible. The physical body is made up of the Panchabhutas, the Sabdatadus. Here I want you to appreciate the inverted nature of the triangle. The base is at the bottom, which is very smaller quantity, and the top is formed by the juice, which has the maximum representation of the seven sadhus. And their arrangement in the body. Here on the lower right portion, you got the thigh cut through. And this shows on the surface the juice, presentation of the juice represented by the extracellular fluid or lymph there, and then the blood vessels, and then the muscles. In between the muscle and the bone, you have the fatty layer there, and then the bone, within the bone you have the bone marrow, and from the bone marrow we get the vital fluid. In the astral body you have previous one. You see the way I think there is some loss of clarity in the way the life force particles move around this thing. The life force particles, they start their motion from the genetic center and they circle through the body according to their velocity. The slower life force particles are in the center, closer to the center, and I have represented 5 life force particles at different levels in the body level. So they start their circulation from the genetic center, they go around the body and come back to the genetic center. And this is understanding this is important because the structure of the 3 bodies depend on this phenomena, that is the life force circulation has a stationary central point in the genetic center of the genetic center, and they work down. The life force particles, they go around in the body and some of them circle within the body, some of them leave the body and come back to the body, come back to the genetic center. So it is represented like this. And if you see the life force particles as they come out of the genetic center, they are round, but once they start traveling, they develop a tail. And this tail is nothing but the divine dust particles which were occupying that space in the life force particle. Because of the inertia, the fast movement of the life force particle, the contents of the life force particle, namely the dust particles, they leave the parent life force particle, and which is represented in the picture as a tail of it. And I think we will be able to see this picture again when this will be followed. There is some computer problem in projecting the slide in its full display. And the life force particle lose the dust particles as they leave the body and they become less stronger, so they bend back, they don't leave, they don't go in a straight line beyond the body level, and they, having lost much of the for a fragment you are seeing the full circle made by the life force particle. Now it is only still fragmented. Okay, so these particles, dust particles, when they leave the system, they exposed themselves to the absolute space within the body, and they dissolve in the absolute space to become magnetism. And the life force particle, they vary in their speed because of the orbital position. You know that the green one, which is closer to the dark green, which is closer to the genetic center, makes a very small circle, whereas the subsequent ones gets steadily enlarged, and the red one on the outer aspect travels the maximum. This is in line with the red life force particles have more velocity, and the green one have very least velocity. And for want of skill, I have taken only half a dozen life force particles, whereas you can see them you can imagine the rest of it. So there is a continuous sheet of orbit with progressive increase in the speed in the periphery. So this is the structure of the astral body, and in this the astral body has a progressive gradient of velocity from zero at the genetic center to the maximum at the periphery and beyond the body. So the impact of the speed on the velocity of the life force particles is there is a greater exchange of ejection of dust particles as they move out of the genetic center, and when they come in, when they are returning to the genetic center, you see the tail is being absorbed back into the life force particle. This provides an exchange. This Maharishi tells that with each circle, with each orbital movement, the life force particle discharges its contents to become magnetism and absorbs back the dust particles into its fold. When they come back nearer to the genetic center, you can see the tail getting absorbed into it, which means only the dust particles get back into the life force particle system. So this gives a renewed energy, a rebirth for the life force particle with each orbit. There is an exchange of the dust particles which become magnetism, and new life force dust particles are entering into the life force particle system, the wind, which we call it in Tamil. So there is a constant change in the contents of the life force particle. The dust particles, they are discharged constantly beyond the life force particle level, and that becomes the magnetism. Because of the discharge of the dust particles, the speed of the life force particle also decreases, drawing it back to the source, that is the genetic center. So this change with every cycle rejuvenates the life force particle. It is something like as they leave the genetic center, they are infant-like, and when they reach the longer distance, when they move far away from the genetic center, here nearer the head, they contain the least number of life force particles. And when they come back, because the lack of the strength of the life force particle, they don't move beyond further, and they make a curve and come back to the genetic center. And as they come to the genetic center, they absorb more dust particles. They accommodate more dust particles from the space within the body. So this is an important part. This shows how the life force particle generates biomagnetism. And The next picture shows the dust particles dissolving into the space to become energy, the biomagnetism. And as the waves generated from the dust particle depend upon the strength and velocity of the dust particles, we have a fast moving waves making beta, and then and represented by red. Within that you have a slower one representing the alpha waves, and then you have the blue one representing the theta, and then you have the purple color representing the delta waves. So the formation of beta, alpha, theta, delta waves are because of the different velocities of the dust particles, and this spinning movement taking place within the body is very vital for the maintenance and development of the body structure. Hope you people follow this animated representation of the astral body and the causal body. Let us move further. The genetic center is located at the center of the body, that is the height, previous one. The height axis, center, the breadth and the depth, all the three coincide at the Mooladhara, and that is the place where the genetic center is. And as the three bodies exhibit a spinning movement, the dust particles are rotating by themselves, and the life force particles, they rotate again. It is just like the planets rotating, and then the sun is also rotating, and the solar system itself is rotating in the galaxy. So this type of movement is present in the genetic center also. Next. Here I am focusing on the center of the genetic center. You have a fast moving layer outside. It is the, if you consider the whole physical body, it is the bone marrow, which are in the core of the physical body, and within the bone marrow you get the vital fluid generated, and these three circulations, the physical body 7 dhatu circulations, the life force particle circulation, and the biomagnetic wave circulation, all are following the same field, in the same field. So they combine to form the genetic center. And here, if you take the physical body, it is the intensified 7th dhatu, which is taking part in the genetic center. And in the astral body, it is the life force particles which have the least velocity within the body. They are almost coming to a zero level. And if it is getting decreased a single unit less, the particle will disappear to space. So that is what is present in the center of the genetic center, represented by a dark spot. And just outside that, you have an intermediate zone, and beyond that, a moving zone, obviously moving zone. If you take the central point of the genetic center as 0, and the interface, which is represented by the dark purple color, and beyond the outer layer. The outer layer contains the delta waves zone, and here the delta wave range from 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. When it is 0, it becomes a space, absolute space. And this arrangement is divine, and it is doing very many magics, explaining the functions in the body. So the interface which I have shown with the middle arrow there, this area represents a vital plane where the imprints taken by the biomagnetic waves from the sense organs or from the other sources, as they come closer to the domain of a genetic center, they contract and constrict. It is something, the orbit taken by the life force particle is elastic in nature. As they come closer to the genetic center, the density from the outer side to the center of the genetic center steadily increases. When the density is intensified in the central portion in a spinning system, the resistance offered for the life force particle to penetrate there also decreases progressively, leading to a reduction in the speed of the life force particle as it reaches the center of the genetic center. And as they leave, they move from the high pressure zone of the central area to the periphery with steady decrease in the thick density there, allowing them to move faster, facilitating a faster movement. So the velocity of the life force particle is maximum at the periphery and minimum closer to the center. So this is significant in the formation, in the arrangement of the physical body, astral body, and the causal body. In the causal body, on the periphery, you have the beta waves, and closer to the center, you have the delta waves, zero waves, and sub-zero waves also. So this is a point which is very, I find it difficult to explain to you people. I feel that to the extent possible, I have explained it. Next. The genetic center explains the features of Almighty in the architecture, in establishing the architecture in the living being. That is, the 7 tadus are arranged according to their density, with the bones in the center and marrow within, and this thing. This I explained in the last class also. The genetic center is the registry of experiences of the living beings, not only in one's life, but also in the entire genetic train and the chain of the generations that we have come across. This the registration of the experiences of the living being takes place because of the nature of these 3 bodies and the relationship to genetic center. So in the causal body, the biomagnetic wave which crosses the sense organs which are in the outer layer, that takes an imprint of it And if we go back to the previous picture of the life force, still beyond, before, 1 minute before, right. If you see this, they make a circle in 360 degrees, and the faster ones in the periphery, they are in touch with the sense organs, the skin, the ear, nose, the tongue, and the skin all put together. So they are in the faster moving life force particles are in touch with the Jnana Indriya, and there they take the imprints, the biomagnetic wave, take the imprints of the experiences. For example, in the eye, it is formed in the image is formed in the retina, and the biomagnetic wave which comes across the retina takes the image of it. And this is explained by Swamiji in a song where பசு ஒன்றை பார்க்கிறோம் அது கண்ணில் பார்க்கும்போது if it is smaller contracted to the size of a mosquito, and when it falls on the retina it is almost a dot, and when that impulse is carried to the brain it is in the form of dots and dashes. The image xeroxed by biomagnetic wave has the full representation of this thing. As I explained earlier, the biomagnetic wave, when it comes to the region of the Jnana Indriyas, they are expanded and they occupy the maximum expansion. So the entire Xerox copy of the Jnana Indriya experiences are deposited in this. But when the same wave comes to the genetic center, it progressively contracts. There is a self-compression of the wave and it occupies lesser space. And as they pass through the dense central area, they become further compressed. And as they reach the genetic central area, it is almost becoming a dot, which you can appreciate if you follow the nearest life force particle. It is dark green in color. So, whereas the center of the genetic center is still interior to the green life force particle level. So, this makes the impression, the Xerox copy taken by the biomagnetic wave, where the biomagnetic wave itself shrinks almost to a point size. The image xeroxed on it by the biomagnetism, these two get separated and they fall in the center of the genetic center position. Next. Here you see the middle layer, middle portion. Here, this is the point where the Xerox copy taken by the biomagnetic wave and the biomagnetic wave part with. And the images are also compressed and made to a dot or a nano size imprints, and they are deposited in the mid zone, the interface of the genetic center. They remain there as imprints in the genetic center. This area is an intensified biomagnetic zone where the imprints are compressed to the minimal size and they are floating in the region of the interface. This interface contains all a living being's experience from birth to death. And since they are magnetic in character, they retain their frequency and the speed. So according to that, the kinetic factors of the imprints, the magnetic properties of the imprints, they are getting arranged themselves in the interface according to the charge difference, the magnetic force difference. And these imprints, they are deposited in the genetic center. They all maintain their individual characters, and they also express the collective effect of all the imprints. So the imprints which are in the interface zone decides the character of an individual. And now I call for your attention of a single biomagnetic wave. As it enters into the genetic center, it leaves the imprints and also it leaves its characters to the genetic center. And when it is the nearest to the central point of the genetic center, it is almost a pure biomagnetic wave. And as it starts emerging from the genetic center, there they progressively expand. The biomagnetic wave expands, and when they leave this thing, they get attached to the imprints which are floating in the interface zone. This imprint, which is taken up by the biomagnetic wave according to its frequency and the wavelength, it is as it leaves and away from the genetic center, it expands also. So this expansion unfolds the imprints in the genetic center. So this unfolding shows the full picture of the imprint as it has formed, and that is interpreted by the brain, and you get the meaning which is conveyed by the imprint there. So this is a difficult area, I think, which so far even the scriptures have not experienced. But Maharishi puts it in such a way, and out of his explanations, I'm adding a little bit of science to it, physics to it, the magnetism to it, to complete the picture. So I'm very skeptical that I have not explained it to your satisfaction, but you are all the students of Vedadriyam, and I feel that what I have understood from Maharishi's concepts, hypothetical nature, you also will be able to this thing. So what I want is the imprints are taken at the Jnanendriyas and they are compressed to the nano size as they come nearer to the genetic center and they are deposited there. This is the karmic imprints we have, which decides the nature of our life. So genetic center is important as it decides. Two slides. I did the previous one. So here the genetic center retaining all the imprints is the registry of experiences of living beings, not only in one's own life, but also the entire life. The value of human personality is reflected by the genetic center. The differences among the living beings are due to the differences in the imprints, the contents in the genetic center. So they only unfold and mature to give any, to operate the cause and effect system. Next. The purification of the genetic center, that is, if these imprints are go on getting collected in the genetic center, they form a wall, thick wall of imprints, which arrests the pure space, absolute space in the, which is in the center of the genetic center. The absolute space which is in the center of the genetic center is called Atma. That is the fragment of the totality in the Jiva. So it is Jivatma. And this genetic center, depending upon the imprints which is accumulating, the genetic center becomes pure or impure or contaminated. And Maharishi calls it the, when you want to clear the genetic center out of these imprints, it is called purification. And when you get more imprints and negative imprints, it is contamination. So the genetic center is the light that shows the philosophy of nature, how our life is determined in the genetic center is explained here. Maharishi calls the genetic center as a divine court of justice. How the imprints, they are all alive and they are individually present, and with each emerging biomagnetic wave, according to its frequency matching, imprint is expanded, and it is, when it comes to the brain, it is brought to it. It is, we are able to cognize that imprint effect. So this is how the cause and effect system works. The cause is the action or the experience of the sense organs, and that is taken in the form of an imprint, deposited there, and when a suitable biomagnetic field comes, that single imprint opens up and starts manifesting, coming to effect. It's the nature. Whatever the imprint is, that impact is brought back. Now, if you take the example of a theft an individual has committed, he has stolen something which is not observed by anybody. He has committed something wrong. He has killed somebody. No one has seen it, but the imprint gets deposited in the genetic center. And when he comes back to a situation where the settings are similar to the crime which he has spot where he has committed the crime, in that magnetic field, universal and biomagnetic field combination, the imprint which was created by the act of killing comes to the surface because of the same magnetic situation. Now the emerging wave takes that out and expands it and shows to the person who committed this crime is able to recapture the image of the scene where he has committed the crime, where he killed. It is brought back to his memory, his vision, and this troubles him even though no one else is aware of this imprint. They get this thing. So this is the divine court of justice. This is how the divine court of justice delivers its judgment to the individuals even when they are not seen or a crime is registered. To the outside world, he may not be a criminal, but within him, he is. So this is the divine court of justice, which acts without fail and delivers the right results to the right cause. Now, next you see the invisible companion with the reservoir of human experiences. So it is all the sum total of all the experiences, and this is the character, personality of the individual, and this is the invisible companion. Genetic center is the invisible companion to reveal the true nature of the individual. Next. The center portion of the genetic center, axis of the genetic center, is the absolute space, and that is the Atman, soul of this thing, and this connects the entire physical body unto the God in the center. It integrates the God and the man. Next, the temple of consciousness throws light on the greatness of the genetic center, showing the right way for the mankind. This knowledge about the genetic center, I don't think that anyone can, as I explained so far, like this. And this clearly explains the way how our destiny works. And this has come out of the temple of consciousness by Vedadriyam. So the knowledge about the genetic center explains clearly the ununderstood mystery of the human nature, and even the individual who suffers, he has forgotten the event which has happened in his life or in his previous chain of a genetic chain. When it comes, he wonders how it can come to me, why this injustice is done, why this trouble has come to me, why this disease, this cancer, this tumor has come to me. What did I do? They don't know, but the genetic center knows everything clearly, and it is so the knowledge about the genetic center makes things clear and clears the mystery. Next. The mysteries revealed by genetic center continues. Here the color is yellow, that is created by the nature of imprints in the genetic center. Now you get a new information in the nature of blue, and this, when it gets deposited in the genetic center, when it mixes with the contents of the genetic center, the blue and yellow mixing next creates a new phenomena, that is the yellow and blue mixed to create a green color. So you get a new trait because of the combination of the new imprint and the old imprint. If you want to know the significance of this phenomena which I am telling, You take the example of two friends, which are bosom friends, who understand each other and they uh, love each other and they remain together. But a third person comes and tells something, the nature of the individual is blue. The imprint which comes from a mischief maker, he comes and tells something about the dear friend, which makes him to misunderstand. So this is, I represent it with the admixture of blue and yellow. What is the outcome is the green. So what is the outcome? The person who was loving his friend so dearly, so closely, so sincerely, gets a new feeling that he has betrayed him, and then he starts hating him. The green is the hatred which has come in between the bosom friends. Now, see how it further produces magics in life. The person, blue individual, he comes to know the real truth of the impulse given by the yellow. And when he understands that it is a false news, that yellow gets eliminated and he gets back the blue, and the green, which was the hatred, misunderstanding created by the inclusion of yellow, is cleared. And so he comes back to the original state. They become friends again. So this is, I don't know how you appreciate it. This is the way I can put it. The way the mind acts, the genetic center, mediated through genetic center, the ideas, impressions, outcomes of our mind keeps changing. So this is the dynamic nature of the genetic center. Next. So the biomagnetism is producing an effect on the individual. When it is minimum, it is pressure coming from Akash element, and when it comes from the air element, it is the sound, the electrical function, and the same in the light and heat, it is the electrical function. When it comes from the water, it is a taste, the fourth tanmatra, and it is a chemical in nature. The fifth one is the smell, again, which is chemical in nature. So this biomagnetic wave, according to the source from which it has come, whether it is come from Akash, air, fire, water, solid, the magnetism changes and you get the mechanical function, electrical function, and chemical function. So these effects are woven and expressed by the genetic center as feelings. Next. The cognition as the quanta, volume, force, time, and distance. These four characters are recognized or cognized by the biomagnetism. When it changes the perceptual abilities by the sense organs, they experience it as pain, pleasure, peace, and ecstasy. And because of this, they are able to discriminate the qualities, different waves, and that is expressed by the mind as a discrimination. So the cognition experience discrimination is explained by the structure of the genetic center and the way the biomagnetic wave gets compressed, expands, and this thing. And the effect of the imprints on it all put together. The living system is really complex. Next. When you lose biomagnetism in the body, the impact on the functioning of the body is different. Biomagnetism in the body, it is responsible for the maintenance of the architecture of the body, the cellular, intracellular proximity, and the arrangement of the cells in the body are maintained by biomagnetism, and the functioning of the sense organs is by the biomagnetism. And as we saw earlier, whether we are in the beta wave, alpha wave, theta wave, or the delta wave, is decides the function of the mind. Next. Negative balance of biomagnetism, which is expressed as hunger, and you take food and water, which replaces the magnetism. The loss of biomagnetism you prevent with clothes and a shelter, and elimination of the waste purifies the body and clears the biomagnetic field. Next. The sense organs develop a contact with the materials, and they acquire experiences are taken by the sense organs, and they, according to the tanmatra, which senses the experiences, they differ in their character. The brain cells register them as characterized pressure and spreads into the biomagnetic domain. The compression of the biomagnetic image, Xerox copy, and they give character to the individual. All the experience gathered in this process of living are converted into biomagnetism, the tanmatras.
Dr. Sir, Ravindra sir, shall we give a small break and continue, sir? Dr. Ravindra sir.
Experiences at the gene level, at the interface, are induced by needs, circumstances, habits, thoughts, self or others, and nature of the genetic center and the divine and action. Projection of the experiences in sensations and qualities by brain cells is called the mind, activity of the mind. The genetic center is functioning as a court of divine justice, which we saw earlier. Appropriate results for every moment and deed is given by the cause and effect system. according to the universal magnetism, the biomagnetism changes its frequency and expresses according and that appropriate imprint to give the result. Physical transformation of the biomagnetism results in feeling of pain, pressure, ecstasy. The mind is the sixth level of physical transformation of the biomagnetism. The first five being the pressure, the sound, light, taste, and smell. These arrangement, the structure and function of the genetic center creates the personality. All imprints of the activities characterizes the personality. The imprints characterize the personality of the individual according to their nature. The imprints collected, accrued from the date of birth up to the present time is called the prarabdha karma. The hereditary imprints which we have received from our parents through the genetic continuity is called the sanchita karma. And the physical cells of the body are affected by one's mental activities. The characterized biomagnetic waves impart their effect, their message into the cells also. So the cellular activity is also affected, decided by the imprints that come out for maturity. So that only creates the change in the composition of the mind and feelings. The genetic center is the divine treasure of mankind because it contains all the experiences. And because of these experiences, the continuity of the species and the change in the characters, improvement in the subsequent newborns is possible only because of the genetic center, which is the divine treasure of the mankind. The divine is omnipresent, it's also present within each and every living being, irrespective of the sense or the level at which they are living. Right from one sense to the plant to this mankind level, the divinity only, the Almighty only is expressing, acting through all. And the activity of the divine is expressed through the genetic center. One sense to five sense animals and animals being a manifestation of the genetic center level, and the effect is imparted on the fellow beings. The lower order from one sense to five sense animals, they cannot prepare food on their own. They have to kill other living beings for their food. This act of consuming food by the animals of up to five senses, they cause pain, remove one's freedom to live, and robs off the body which they have accumulated, collected through their entire lifespan. And this, by putting an end to that life, they rob the liberty of the life to remove.
Dr. Sir, Ravindranath Sir.
We can have a break.
Chinna break கொடுத்துட்டு மறுபடியும் கண்டிப்பா
Okay. Just for my satisfaction,
okay,
see how it is, or you tell me how the presentation is going on.
Sir, it's going nice, sir. So many things are new things are coming here. I think by interaction, that will make more interesting. I feel.
Okay.
We'll
Right,
have
thank
small
you.
break, then we will have some interaction.
We'll have a break.
Santi, ஒரு announcement பண்ணலாமா? ஒரு 10 minutes break கொடுத்து மறுபடியும் கண்டினியூ பண்ணலாமா? Santi, are you online?
Okay, yes, வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வளமுடன். Let us have a small break for 10 minutes and join later. Okay, after 10 minutes, we all join together and continue the session. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Meanwhile, we request the participant to write down the questions for interaction.
Yeah, the participants, any questions you can write down and we can have interaction after this break. Because doctor has given so many new ideas and the concepts. We can go one by one. I think after this break, we'll have some interactions and try to understand the concept in depth. Then we will go further. So it's not necessary for you to leave the program. You please be there in the program, but you take rest for 10 minutes and again you come and join me. Those who are interested in making questions, you please make a note of it. And after the break, you can have the question sessions. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். So I request all our students to rejoin. I think we can continue that. First we can discuss. Dr. MBR has given so many inputs, so many ideas, some new concepts, innovative ideas. I think we can have some discussions. Then after the discussion, if time permits, we will continue. Otherwise, we will have the remaining session in the next session also. I think Dr. Jayaprakash, you are also available here. You are also listening to the lecture. We want some inputs later on. Now our students will have some questions. After that, I think Jayaprakash from UK, I think you can give some answers also. You can supplement that also. Dr. Sir, Rabindra Sir, are you ready now? Dr. Sir, mic, very good. Very good.
Yes, sir.
கொஞ்சம் ரிலாக்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா சார்? சரிங்க சரி சார். நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஏதாவது இப்போ கொஞ்சம் கேள்வி பார்த்துட்டு அப்புறம் நம்ம போய்க்கலாமா சார்?
சந்தோஷம் சார். It is a difficult topic. I'm finding it difficult to.
இல்ல சார், நம்ம மெதுவா போலாம், கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா போலாம்.
Okay.
ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணி அவங்க
Anyway, let the students tell whether they have understood it or not.
I am happy that Jayaprakash also available. ஏதாவது தேவைப்படும்போது Jayaprakash, you please.
அவர் ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் ஐயா, ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் பேச சொல்லாங்க ஐயா, ஏதாவது கேட்கலாம். என்னன்னு அவருடைய ஒப்பீனியன் டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் ஐயா?
ஐயா பேச சொல்ல, அது பத்தி நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஒரு 2 क्वेश्चंस ஏதோ இருக்கு, நாங்க நம்ம
சரி சரிங்க.
Jayaprakash sir, you please be here.
அவருடைய வியூஸ் ஏதாவது சஜஷன்ஸ் இருந்தா கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. சரிங்க.
சார் ரவீந்திரா சார், என்னுடைய ஒரு சின்ன சந்தேகம் சார். இப்போ வந்து நீங்க அந்த பிசிக்கல் பாடி, ஆஸ்ட்ரல் பாடி, காசல் பாடி அதை பத்தி எல்லாம் சொல்லும்போது clear cut explanation. Generally the astral body, the life force particles which are circulating in the physical body, so that container, the volume occupied by the life force particles inside the body, that can be said as astral body.
Astral body. Yes.
இப்போ வந்து என்னுடைய டவுட் என்னன்னா சார், life force particles, they are otherwise we can call as Akash particles also in the beginning. You can
yes.
The Akash particles, which consists of the dust particles inside, they are responsible for all the magnetic radiations later on. Okay, all right, sir. So these Akash particles are the life force particles. When they are coming inside the body, we call as life force particles. They are something equivalent to electrons in the conductor. The electrons, when they flow in a conductor, we call as electric current. And because of the flow of the electrons, a field will be going on around that you call as a magnetic field. And the electron is associated with the electric and the magnetic field. So this is the case of the magnetism coming out. So when these life force particles, when they are inside the body, the total volume occupied by the life force particle inside the body, that you call as an astral body.
Yes.
So the astral body almost similar to the physical body. It cannot be very much bigger than the physical body. That's to my assumption, sir. My assumption. I will put the question later on. You can answer that. To my assumption, the astral body can be equivalent to the physical body. One thing. Then here you have given some pictures about the flow of the life force particles in a different circular path, semicircular this side, left side, and the right side. In that way, you have given that. In the case of electric current, the electrons will flow inside the conductors, not outside the conductors. Once, only in the case of the electromagnetic radiation, when it comes as an antenna through the tower, the electron and the electronic energy will be converted to electromagnetic energy. that only will flow out of the conductor. As long as it is there inside that, that will act as an electron. Similarly, as long as these Akash particles are inside the particle you call as an astral body, and the radiations coming out from this astral body or this life force particle, that you can call as a biomagnetism. That biomagnetism that causes for the causal body. So therefore, the life force particles which are inside the physical body, they can be called as astral body. That is one, my point of view. And another thing, we are having that Idagalai, Pingalai, Sulumana in that way. And the crossing points we call as chakras also. So how will you account for the astral body, and how will you account for the chakras inside the body using your concept of flow of the particles as astral bodies?
Sir, the physics point of view, you have raised these questions.
Yeah.
They are in tune with Maharishi's hypothesis. That is, the dust particles, divine dust particles, are particulate representation of the energy. And their dissolution in the space is the waveform of the same energy. So the magnetism comes out of the dissolution of the dust particles. So it is similar to the electrons flowing through the wires, creating a field. That is when they dissolve. The electrons are much, much bigger, I suppose, than the life force particle.
Yeah. Electrons
So,
comparatively bigger than.
So since the electron is an evolved state and the life force particle is still a primitive state, comparison of these two states of expression is difficult. That creates some confusion, but otherwise it is same.
We can have some similarities between the electrons and the Akash particles. Akash particles, they may be smaller, but they may be more powerful. So here, electrons, protons, and neutrons, when we say that, so the first Akash particle, electron, electrons, electron, protons, electron, neutrons, in that way we can order that. It starts from the Akash particles, then electron, proton, neutron in the Mari. So they are all the later stages. Later stage, they lose their spinning speed and the weight. So here for Akash particles, the volume may be small, but it's more energetic, more powerful than the electrons, more powerful than the electrons. And the energy released by these Akash particles we call as a magnetic field. That energy can go to any distance, but the Akash particles, they are limited to a volume, and the electrons, they are limited only to the conductors. They cannot go out of the conductors. Similarly, these Akash particles, they are only when they are limited to the body, you call as a life force particles. If they are outside the body, you cannot call as life force particles. It becomes Akash particles. That's all. Therefore, here you have given a picture, a wonderful picture in which left side particles are flowing, the right side particles are flowing. That at the center the speed is minimum, and the periphery the speed is maximum. That way you given that. So if you are giving like that, that means the particles are going outside the body. Something like that, the electrons are going outside the conductor. Is it a logical one?
Help me to comprehend your question. Let me answer in between. That is, the electrons are further evolved. As the evolution takes place, there is constant reduction in the energy level. Akash, that's absolute space, has the maximum energy, and that gets lost as we progress in evolution. The Akash has to lose its energy to become dust particle. Dust particles, when they associate to become the life force particle or Akash particle, they further lose some more energy. And when they associate to form the Panchabhutas, they steadily lose. The Akash loses energy to become air, to accommodate movement under the characters of air. They have to lose some more energy. And when they become light, they lose some more. And when they become liquid, from the liquid expression is the taste, it is still further step down in the energy level. So there is a steady reduction in the energy level. The Panchabhutas, when they unite to form the physical body, they still lose some more freedom or free energy of the Panchabhutas to manifest and act as the body. So this, at this stage, the movement of the current, that is movement of the electrons within the wire, cannot be compared to the movement of the life force particles within the body. We don't have any structure like wire to accommodate electron in the body, to accommodate the life force particles. The life force particles, Swamiji used to say, we don't have a container. We cannot have a container for the Akash particles.
Well, sir, okay, sir, I accept with you. The electrons which can flow in the conductor, similarly the life force particle which can flow inside the body. In the body, each and every cell, it has a vital fluid. That vital fluid becomes the container of the life force particles. Without the vital fluid,
that point I will come and explain when I bring out the relationship between the vital fluid and the genetic center, and the relationship between the vital fluid and the life force particles.
The vital fluid becomes the container of the life force particles. Without the vital fluid, life force particles cannot exist inside the body.
There is, at this point, there is some difficulty in understanding. When I come to that point, I will explain in more detail. It requires some more time, elaboration.
Okay, sir. So now,
dust particles are different from waves. Though the dust particles become magnetic waves, it is the same dust particle becoming the magnetism, but both are different.
So dust particle, can I give my interpretation about the dust particle, the waves, sir?
Yes, sir.
Dust particle, they are spinning at a very high speed because they are surrounded by the absolute space. When a spinning effect occurs, that spinning effect causes waves around that. This is something like that. When you drop a stone in a pool of water, then waves will be going out. Similarly, in the space, still space, static space, when the dust particle, they spin, then from the particle, the waves are emanating. That waves you call as a magnetic wave, or you call as a magnetism. That magnetic wave will be existing as long as the spinning is going on there. But spinning, it will be slowly coming down, coming down, coming down. One day the spinning will stop. That means there is a dissolution of the dust particle. Dust particle. As long as it spins, it will be associated with a wave. That associated wave you call as a magnetism. But the dust particle, it has a very long lifespan. Compared to all the particles in the universe, that has the maximum lifespan. And before the dust particle dies, then all the changes, all the Panchapodas, all the existence, all the living beings, everything should come in between there. So that much the dust particle has a long lifespan. So these dust particles inside the Akash particle, maybe millions of dust particles may be there. Millions of waves will be coming there. So the resultant wave coming from an Akash particle, that you call as a magnetism. When it is outside, you call as a universal magnetism. When it is inside, you call as a biomagnetism.
Perfectly right. Yeah, perfectly right.
Dust particle is a magnetic particle, we can say.
Yes, sir. A point of explanation, that is the dust particles, they appear from the space, absolute space, because of the surrounding self-compressive force, which is progressively increasing, everlasting, ever increasing. I was fortunate to hear Swamiji explaining that is, these dust particles, appearance of the dust particles is similar to the water vapor emanating from the sea. This gaseous vapor of H2O can immediately mix with the dip into the sea and disappear instantly. As they appear, they can get dissolved into the sea itself. Whereas other dust, water molecules which escape in the form of vapor, they can form cloud, and the cloud may fall as a rain into the same sea and disappear, or the cloud can move to the land, cross to the land and fall as a rain, and that rain may fall either in the top of the ice-capped mountains of Himalayas, or it can fall anywhere. It depends. The span of this thing, the water vapor, comparable to the dust particle state. When the dust particles combine to form life force particles, and life force particles combines to form subatomic particles, the change takes place. Whereas this water vapor, which is caught in the icy mountains, they can become snow or ice rock, or they may be some of the ice rocks in the polar regions or in Himalayas, which have formed millions and millions of years before. They are still solid, they are arrested. So the water vapor which has escaped from the sea lives for millions and millions of years. And when they melt, they form the river and they are consumed by in its travel to reach the sea. Various happenings can take place. It can be taken up by a seed which become a tree. The tree can live for hundreds of years, and the further progression of the vapor gets arrested there, or it can get into a rock, and when that will stay for as long as the mountain of which the rock is a part, it will get arrested there, or it can be taken up by a man and can be retained throughout his life in his body. So like that, the dust particles also, they have a different spectrum of life time. They may disappear immediately, or they may become magnetism immediately, or they may get into the formation of the Panchabhutas and live for a long time. And this is at the unimaginable micro level, nano level. So what happens at the nano level is difficult, and just as I am having the advantage of being a medical person to go into the various aspects of the living body, you have the advantage of being a physicist to go into the various states of matter, and what you say may be more authentic than what I feel, what I imagine to be.
Thank you very much, sir. The analogy is very fine, sir, because the water from the sea evaporating, similarly from the absolute space, the dust particles are coming out. The water vapor, which comes down immediately, some of the water vapor, they become ice. So this comparison is very nice and very good, and we can have it for both dust particle and the absolute space.
Yes,
similarly
yes.
for the water vapor and the sea and the water. It's a very, very good comparison, sir. It's all right. But
when the dust particles are remaining as dust particles. They can move anywhere. They are with full freedom. When they become life force particle or Akash particle, their movements is restricted to the particle level. And so when they are in the dust particle level, they don't require a media to flow, just like an electron. The electron also, when it is spinning around the atom, nucleus of the atom, they don't require any wire to flow. They are free.
Yeah. They are not free. They are connected to the nucleus. Around the nucleus, they are free, but they cannot move away from the nucleus.
No, they don't have, just like a electric current, they don't have a wire to move. The electrons around the nucleus of the atom.
But they are occupied with that nuclear field. That means the proton, the electron, there is an attractive field. Using that attractive field,
that is there.
They cannot go outside.
Similarly, the genetic center has an attractive force, as a repulsive force. The Akash particles are depending on that. They have to follow the rules. And because of that, they remain either in the astral body or they escape out to the universal space.
Okay, so because the genetic center, it's a new concept we are discussing, and because Samuji has given some new inputs there, so they are scientifically bringing that. I think it may take some time. We have to also go deep into that, and
we both may have to sit along with some more specialists in the particle physics to understand this fully.
Okay, sir. Using your concept of these life force particles circulating there, how will you account for the chakras? Can you give some?
Yes. This is the chakras are formed by 3 elements. That is, one, the physical body, astral body, and the magnetic causal body. In the causal body, the flow of the magnetism, biomagnetism or universal magnetism, the biomagnetism is concentrated in some places, and it is less concentrated, or it is rarefication. The field is thin in some areas. Where they are closer, denser, we call it nadis. And these nadis, when they say there are 72,000 nadis, of which the important ones are the Ida and the Pingala. And the central one, the Sushumna. The flow of energy in the Ida and Pingala are in opposite direction. And they crisscross, just like the 2 serpents represented by the medical emblem. They cross. The place where they cross, 3 forces, 3 paths meet. That is the Sushumna path, Ida path, Pingala path. All the 3 meet at the single point of the chakra, where because of the differences in the direction and velocity of the Ida and Pingala and the Sushumna, an eddy is created, a whirlpool is created. That whirlpool is called the chakra. And this is present in the causal body when you consider the magnetism alone. It is located at the level of the throat chakra or the chest chakra or the abdominal chakra, solar chakra. This combines the physical body with the astral and causal. All the 3 put together, they reside. So these chakras are seen only because of the dynamics of 3 different forces mixing together in a point, creating a eddy. The small local whirlpools are created. So that is manifested as chakra. which requires all the three bodies. But it is essentially in the causal body. And when you dissect the body, physical body, you lose that mobile dynamic activity in the body. So when you dissect out the body, the astral body and the causal body part with the physical body. So the doctors, scientists who have studied the physical body threadbare, they have not seen the chakras, and it cannot be perceived as it happens to be the energy. If you arrest the movement of the energy, then the chakra will disappear.
When you anatomically diagnose, we cannot see the chakras, we cannot see even the genetic center also.
Yes.
Anatomically, you cannot see the genetic center also.
All the things which we are discussing about are unseen.
Unseen and abstract phenomena, but actually it leads to the reality and the realization also.
That is the beauty of the spiritual science. Though it is unseen, though it cannot be proved, though it cannot be demonstrated to the other, everyone experiences it, and so it becomes an acceptance comes out of it, out of the experience. So when a scientist questions what is the Agnya feeling or Turiya feeling, or what is the chakra like, Swamiji gives an answer. What? You learn it, experience it, and then tell. By experience, you can understand it better than without experience. It is a complex subject, sir.
So it's a complex subject, but however, it has to be discussed, and we will try to understand to the level how much we are discussing. To that extent, we can try to understand.
Oh yes, oh yes.
So if Jayaprakash is available, can we ask him to supplement some to what we are discussing about that? He can say his comments. Jayaprakash sir, thank you very much for seeing, sir. You are very bright because we are conducting according to your time schedule. I think you can give some inputs.
Absolutely.
Please.
Can I interact with the research scholars for 5 minutes, Ayya?
Yeah. Now the scholars are available. Because what our Ravinath has given the idea, you can just give some more.
You can give your opinion, idea about it, and then
you can give that. And you are free to discuss with our scholars. They are all expecting you. Yeah, please.
What Ravindranath Ayya has given it, I want to make it as a research application to the scholars today.
Yeah, surely. Actually, we want to make everything.
I want to ask one question to the scholar. Whichever the scholar we are willing to participate, interact, they are ready to come over. What is question to the research scholar. Number one question is, what is the aim of spiritual research? Answer, please.
Please, pardon me, sir. Repeat the question, sir.
What is the aim of research, spirituality, and science? Our scholars' aim of research in spirituality and science. And scholar can simplify it. What is the aim?
See, some of the scholars, I think you can give some inputs.
Please.
Sir, Jayaprakash sir, I'm
Tamar Chelvi, please.
Yeah. So the aim of spirituality along with science, scientific proof, is that we can get a holistic, healthy lifestyle if we adapt scientific research to the holistic philosophy of spirituality. Spirituality along with science will be a whole system, so that we are all trying to do a research which will make the society in a way they can apply with the proof.
Great.
Scientific.
Great. Great. Any other explanation from any other research scholars? Excellent. Excellent, Tamrachelvi. Very good. Any other explanation? I think you simplified it.
The Sundara Devi is available. I think we can. Vijay Kumar, Sundara Devi, konjam co-host kodunga unmute pannu. Vijay Kumar.
நான் கொடுக்குறேங்க.
Sundara Devi konjam unmute pannu. அவங்களுக்கு co-host கொடுத்து பார்க்கலாம். டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் சாருக்கு co-host கொடுத்துருங்க.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Madam, please, madam, we are expecting you. Please, madam.
Thank you.
Jayprakash co-host கொடுத்துருப்பேன்.
Okay. வாழ்க வளமுடன், Dr. Jayaprakash.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், madam.
Dr.
Nice to see
Rabindranath
you.
also.
Please, madam, please. We are expecting you. Please.
So I'll just say you can take me also as a research scholar. So what I would like to answer is the spirituality. See, Swamiji has taught us so many things, and our Shastras and culture also has told us that everything has come from nothing. First, there was an absolute space, Suttavali, which was nothing. And then, but it contained the intelligence to produce so many things. So from nothing, that is, from absolute nothing, then there came a metaphysical aspect of it. They formed into atoms and see, like Dr. Perumal said, it's electrons and photons and all those things, and they became atoms, elements, and then all the physical things that we see in this world. So it is the nothing or the absolute space, and then the metaphysical part of it, and then the physical part of it. So that is the progression of creation. So spirituality is reversal of this process. Going from the physical aspect, you go into the metaphysical aspect of all the minute things, and then which can be still proved by laws, even if we won't see them. There are so many laws, the gravitation, the nuclear force, the electrical force, magnetic force, they can still be proved by some evidence of it. And then if you go beyond that, which we cannot see, from the metaphysical, you go into absolute space. So that is where you go to Suttavali or Vettavali. So that is the aim of spirituality, making the reverse journey of creation. So that is my understanding.
Thank you, madam. It was so nice to hear it. My simplified way of explaining things, I always mingle with a lot of research scientists around Europe and US. I always mock at them. Look, your research is mostly to get a PhD and put it in the magazine, news, articles and all the journals. And hundreds of millions and millions of dollars spent on research and wasting on a table only, it is not coming to the bed. So I tell them that table research should be on the bedside application, on the medical. In the spirituality research, our room research or our Kayakalpa research should be at the home, everybody to apply on. So my simplified message, instead of just doing research to get a PhD as well as publicize in the journals, that research application should be at everybody's home. Always Swamiji told me, hey, you have to get this Kayakalpa around the world through scientific research. So this is why my simple request to all the research scholars, make your research studies or work towards each home applications, not just get your PhD or not putting journals and all the things. You make sure consciously it reaches, because younger generations, 50 to 60% of them, immediately they go into Google, ask the literature papers. So if you are going to put it on all those, everybody say, yes, we have some scientific legs to stand on. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. Otherwise, accept that and get on with it. That is my simple thing. And there are a few things more I want to go into the quick topics of this. I like to do. One is the genetic center, and today's topic is a very, very lovely topic of genetic center and other things also. Genetic centers. I always make it genetic center is the motherboard given by the mother nature to the humans. The motherboard has got all the codings. Then operating system is through three systems. Genetic center operate through three operating systems. That is a neuronal, hypothalamic, pituitary, pineal gland system, and the hormonal system, and Wi-Fi system. That is the cytokine system. So I feel if I mingle the philosophy, or as Dr. Ravindranath said, hypothesis of spiritual to the physiological science, the motherboard of genetic center works through three operating systems of neuronal, hormonal, cytokine, Wi-Fi system. There are 30 to 40 trillion cells in the body approximately. They all have genes, chromosomes, nucleus, and mitochondria. The nucleus and mitochondria, they all have genes. And those genes express and make the functions of the body. Only 10% of the genes express at a normal level. By Kayakalpa, we make the gene expressions much, much more than 10%. So our philosophy or our aim in the future by our research scholars, Kayakalpa and genetic expressions. When a person do Kayakalpa regularly, how much genetic expressions they can make it more than 10% in nucleus and mitochondria level. So my aim is there are three topics that the younger generation of research scholars to take. One is the genetic expressions by Kayakalpa. Second is the stem cell functions by Kayakalpa. Third is the mitochondrial metabolic functions by Kayakalpa. These are the three hot topics in aging now is going on. This is why in the anti-aging, and always when I spoke to Swamiji, he always says Kayakalpa is the first anti-aging, best age management practices. Through Kayakalpa and Sky practices, it attracts, when you go to the common people, everybody, if you ask them, do you want to live happily with good functional of your own, live longer? It's a quality of life. Every human being will be attracted for the quality of life without anybody's help, living longer. That is why Swamiji version of explaining is genetic center is a tape recorder. Biomagnetism is the vibrations or the noise goes from the tape recorder through the actions. And then you make really the benefit of the whole body through Kayakalpa. Kayakalpa triggers the genetic centers to make the biomagnetism in a uniform, coordinated fashion, to make the gene expression, to make the functions of the body in the right directions. So, as Dr. Ravindranath explained beautifully in a slide, Shabda Tadu. I'm so fascinated with that slide because I research on stem cells. And the most of the stem cells they found in sexual vital fluid. That is the gonads and all the areas. And second, most stem cells are in bone marrow, then bone. Then the fat has got plenty of stem cells. My work as a plastic surgeon, I take fat from the people's body, extract the stem cells, and give into the area where it needs more functions. So it is nicely put in, Dr. Ravindranath, SVF, marrow, bone, fat, tissue, blood, and juice. There, the stem cell the numbers is maximum from SVF and the minimum in the juice. So that way, I feel the biomagnetism also mostly concentrated in the stem cells. That is why the stem cells can go into multiple types of cells in the body. So more stem cells, more younger. The older people, even though number of stem cells is the same, the function of the stem cell goes down. That is why through Kayakalpa, we increase the functions of the stem cells, increase the biomagnetism of the stem cells. So as Swamiji teaching, Kayakalpa is the best anti-aging tool that I like to establish in the world through your young scholars like you. So genetic centers through trillion cells increase the biomagnetism, increase the conscious order of the function, that is consciousness order of the function. So every cell at the consciousness, that is the order of the function. So through Kayakalpa and sky practices, physical, mental, astral body regulations can be achieved so that we live a good quality of life. That is the age management practice and anti-aging. Thank you very much, sir.
Perumal.
Thank you. So, please, sir.
Yes. The points expressed by Dr. Jayaprakash have echoed probably through my brain much earlier. An year ago or so, we have announced the results of Kayakalpa study as an anti-aging measure, assessed through the mitochondrial activity. The study showed that the mitochondria were much younger population than in the controls, and the functioning of the mitochondria are much better, robust in people who do Kayakalpa. The gene expression is much greater. It is more than 200 times more than the normal gene expression that is seen in the controls. So the gene expression is more, and the mitochondrial biogenesis are something which the biotech people use terminologies which I don't understand fully. So that is also more. This paper was presented in the South Korean World Conference, and it was appreciated. We have studied the mitochondria and the gene expression, and also the other routine biochemical parameters. So this was a pilot study with only some 30 individuals. The first study showed that it has significant impact on the cellular function. As second study, we took candidates who are newcomers to yoga, who have not practiced yoga before, and we took the zero sample and 1 month in our health camp study. And the second study also showed that the same results which was seen in established practitioners of this thing. So mitochondria are subjected to the Kayakalpa effect, and this results in the functioning population of younger mitochondria. Senile old mitochondria, they get destroyed, whereas the younger mitochondria are functioning well. That is the reason for the robust performance of the individual cells, body cells, by the effect of Kayakalpa. Thank you, sir.
Very good, sir. So you very good work you have done it. I think you published that to the conference. Was there any journal publication regarding that mitochondria in your research?
The boy who was carrying on this got a job in Israel with much high this thing, and he has gone to Israel, and I have to go behind him and get there.
Data are available with you. If you can interpret.
Data are available, we will be able to take it, but it was not published, as it was that the study was confined to 30 individuals.
Okay. But
Yes, sir.
It appears to be very good work. unless it comes in a journal publication, I think that we cannot take it.
That's why we don't mention it often. Now, since Jay Prakash has brought that to our discussion, I have to happen to tell this.
Jayaprakash sir,
We
it's a
want to
wonderful-
take it up. We have done this in association with the Biotechnology Department of Bardiyar University, and they want to pursue it on a larger scale. We have applied for Satyam grants on this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jay Prakash sir you will be able to talk.
Jayaprakash sir, it appears to be very good work, sir. If you can propose, if you can help us, we can proceed further and can bring out more.
Sir, my future aim, sir, my future aim is I want to bring 3 experts to Aliyar. One
Yes,
is
sir.
the genetic experts, which does genetic expression studies. Another one is a stem cell experts, which does the stem cell function. Third one is the molecular mitochondrial study experts. These 3 experts, I happen to know them all 3 people very nicely. One from Switzerland, 2 from Sweden. And they are very interested in spirituality as well. They all came to India before with my request. So I want to bring them to Aliyar and start a proper international based research so that it will be like a 1 year or 2 years. It will be ready for publications with the good involvement of younger scholars. That's why I really need a good dedicated research scholars for an international research for genetic expressions with Kayakalpa, with mitochondrial functions, like Dr. Ravindranath said. The mutant mitochondria is the young mitochondria. Wild mitochondria is the young mitochondria. Mutant mitochondria is the old mitochondria. So we can study the Kayakalpa and the mitochondria. And the third one is the stem cell functions and Kayakalpa. If 3 we done, nothing equivalent to that, if we can challenge every younger individuals to do that in the future generation, how Kayakalpa is so important for age management and anti-aging tool, simple tool that will help us in the right direction. That is my real aim of my life mission. That's what Swamiji has pushed me into it many times. I really feel I ought to do that. Thank you, sir.
So that is the same reason why Swamiji has brought you to this meeting today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And we can start working with the 3 people whom you have suggested, and yourself and our doctors, Dr. Devi, Dr. Shanmugavelu and myself.
Yes, yes,
We
sir.
all can start discussing about this project through a web online.
Through this online meeting, we can have some discussions, sir. Before
Yes,
they come here to Aliyar, we can have discussion through this online. And
yes, sir.
they can come here whenever it is convenient to you, sir. You please arrange
Yes,
for
sir.
online meetings.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
So very good work, sir. I think Swamiji has given shown a path to proceed further.
Absolutely.
So it comes through the
With blessings of Swamiji, we definitely can do it, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, one student, Avadayapan, if you want to talk, you can, you can unmute yourself and you, ஒரு question மட்டும் இருக்கு சார் ஒருத்தர் கேக்குறாங்க.
Please, I'm very happy to entertain many questions.
Avadayapan, please, now you can make your question now.
Okay, sir. Good evening to all of you. I'm having only one question. We know imprints are there in the karma, in the genetic center. If we transplant the physical parts in and around the genetic center, whether the karmas will change, like heart transplantation and kidney transplantation they are doing now. I know very well that karmas are imprinted in souls only. Swamiji told like that. I think so. If soul departs, imprints will also go away with the soul. I think so. But physiological aspect, if you see it, only in prostate glands, sexual vital fluids are produced, and in testicles, spermatozoas are produced. In sperms only, the DNA and genes are there with all ancestors' karmas. then it will little bit confusion where the imprints are there, whether it can be transplanted.
Avdeyapan, you
Yes.
hit the nail on the head. I really missed that point in my talk. You really made me to talk that. Thank you very much indeed. Brought this topic. I feel with the Swamishi's teachings, what I learned, with doing proper Kayakalpa sky practices, especially introspection with the sky practices, karma link through genetic center can be reversed. This is my hypothesis. The karma link can be reversed through genetic centers. That is the tape recorder that we receive when we born. Swamiji always say genetic center is a tape recorder we receive. So I feel strongly by practicing sky practice regularly and Kayakalpa, we can reverse the karma. As you rightly said, all the mechanism of spermatozoa, prostate, and all those things, they are all end users. Like Swamiji always say, the biomagnetism is like electricity. The same electricity does the fridge, fan, TV, cooking, everything, like washing. So like that, the end using of the biomagnetism is multiple. So like you said, once we regulate the genetic centers by Kayakalpa and sky practices, our karma can be reversed and all the electricity will go through all the organs and function it properly. Thank you, Avdeyapan, bringing the lovely questions.
Thank you, sir.
Avdeyapan,
Tell me, sir.
Avdeyapan, the imprints are in the genetic center. The genetic center has a central portion, middle portion, and the peripheral portion. In the middle area, the imprints are located in the middle portion. And Swamiji also tells you about purification of the genetic center and contamination of the genetic center. The effect of yoga, including Kayakalpa, is to repolarize, change the polarity of the genetic center. According to the polarity of the genetic center, imprints go to the depths and remain inactive, or they emerge to the surface, become active. So the active imprints decide upon the character and the way of living of the individual. Since the biomagnetism, if you shift from beta wave to theta wave or even to alpha wave, there is a repolarization, reorientation of the imprints in the genetic center, which will definitely produce market change. This is the change you see, observe in yogis, siddhas, and the rishis. And this is possible. This is going on in the universe from time immemorial without elaborating the mechanism.
Sir, one doubt I am having, whether the imprints are there in the physical part or in the soul part. That's what I am asking.
See, this is the solid matter, liquid and gaseous matter. The margin of these three, the solid is clear cut, obvious, whereas of the liquid it is a diffuse, whereas for the gas it is still more. It is difficult to demarcate two gases separately because they mix freely. So like that, the genetic center is there is no single structure. Genetic center is a structure which evolves out of the combination of the three. And if you remove a genetic center, I think you have genetic center transplantation in your mind. that is not possible, because the moment you put your intervention on the genetic center, it will disappear. It is an abstract energy structure, delicate structure, and you cannot transplant them. But you can manipulate the genetic center with your activities, the biomagnetism.
Okay, doctor.
The genetics can be changed is an established fact now. Scientists have brought out the term epigenetics because to explain the change in the manifestation and expression of the genes. That is well known, established, accepted, has become a science. So what you say is possible, and where they are located, it requires some more understanding in us to say where exactly it is located. See, the size of a life force particle or Akash particle is what we describe the hair from the cow, made to 1 lakh divisions. So it is very, very difficult to visualize and say how it is. But still, divinity has given a way how to feel it. So what you are telling is possible. It will take some time. Where it is located, we will. It is in the genetic center. In which zone? Is in the mid zone of this thing. The center of the genetic center is occupied by absolute space, and Kandavar, Windavar, Kandilar is a very $1 million expression. So no particle can retain its particular stage if it touches the absolute space at the center of the genetic center. So I even use the term untouchability of the center of the genetic center. Not even a dust particle can enter into the center of the genetic center. It remains as absolute space. Only when it remains as absolute space, the whole structure of the astral body, causal body, and physical body can be retained. If that is disturbed, all the three will get disarranged.
Sir, beautifully simplified. Beautifully simplified, sir. Lovely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So at the end of the session, we are having very good questions and very good answers also. I think we can continue the remaining session, the next one. I think we can conclude the session. Doctor, நமக்கு கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிடலாம். ஏதாவது முடிச்சிடலாங்களா டாக்டர்? ஏன்னா 6 மணி ஆயிடுச்சு. சுந்தராதேவியம்மா, நீங்க ஏதாவது சொல்லணும்னா கூட சொல்லலாம். சொல்லிட்டு கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணி.
இல்லைங்க, யாரோ 2 பேர் கேள்வி கேட்டிருக்காங்க.
அவங்க கை தூக்குனாங்க, இப்ப தூக்கணும் கேளுங்க. இல்ல அவடைய எப்ப ஒருத்தர் முடிஞ்சது, இன்னொருத்தர் யாரோ கை தூக்குனாங்க, இப்ப காணுங்க. Arjun,
yes, you unmute and speak.
You can unmute and ask Arjun.
Yes, sir. Vazhalumadan, sir.
Please. Mangai is wanting to question.
Vazhalumadan, sir. Thank you to all the dignitaries. Ravindranath, sir, the question is to you. And yes, if anybody can bring up any clarity, I would most welcome them. Okay, so the question is, they are saying the Maha Kundalini Shakti. Now, what is my doubt is, if there are 7 chakras, Swamiji is saying Tunai Jivagandha Mayangal. That means in the
minor chakras,
subcenters, yeah.
Subcenters. Now, what is my doubt is, if Ida and Pingala is a dynamic energy, why can't Maha Kundalini Shakti be the static energy? Why can't the black holes, if we take every subcenters, it has got everything is a whirlpool, and at the center of the whirlpool there must be a black hole, and if that black hole is in alignment with every other subcenters black holes, then why can't it be the Maha Kundalini Shakti? Or my doubt is, if it is static energy or it is dynamic energy. That is my question is, if Ida and Pingala are dynamic, why can't be Maha Kundalini Shakti be static? Is it static?
for your information, Dr. Devi will be more informative to give the answer. Dr. Devi, please.
No, I'll try. See, of course, Maha Kundalini Shakti, we say, is dormant. It's a sleeping serpent, we call it, isn't it? So it is in a static, it's not a static, it's a latent state. And it is closing the mouth of the
Potential.
It's a potential and latent energy. So these two things, the Ida and Pingala, the dynamic energies, they're going round and round. So like the dynamo of a cycle, when it is just going around, or you can, the more apt will be when you make butter from the milk or curd, there are two threads, you just keep pulling it in the opposite directions. So the dynamo in between gets twisted, and then the milk gets churned, the curd gets churned, and the butter comes up. So like that, these two nadis, which are in opposite directions, and they're revolving around that central space, and then they churn this Kundalini energy which is sleeping there. Then they make it rise upwards, make it light, and then come upwards. Of course, they make it from a liquid state into a gaseous state, and then go into the light state. So that's what they call, the like a lamp or a candle is in a solid state. So when that is heated up by the churning movement, and they heat it up, then they come through the Sushumna Nadi, which is an empty space. Like like Dr. Rabindranath showed that in everything there is a central hole or a long hole. So this they call in TCM, they call it as a Taiji pole. That is that pole, how it is created when the sperm and the ovum, when the sperm comes and then tries to enter the ovum, it has anything which has to pierce means first there has to be a dent, isn't it? So from the dent, the contents of the sperm goes pushed inside the ovum. So that goes up to the end of that cell. So the dent that makes it, that is the initial entry, that is the Mooladhara point. And from there, the energy is put into the ovum. And then there is this long, empty tube-like thing. That is the Sushumna Nadi. And then the energy is contained there, but it is potentially latent. And then because of the activity, then it comes up. The candle, when it's heated, it becomes the heat, produces the heat and then the light also. So in the body, it is seen as a heat, and in the mind, the brain activity, it is seen as the light. So that's called the prana, ojas, and ojas, prana, and then the tejas in the brain. So it is a black hole. The black hole runs through the body, through every structure. See, chakra, you don't see it in the two-dimensional plane. If you see all the chakras in the three-dimensional planes, then you can see that that empty space in between makes a tube right from the place of the Mooladhara up to the Sahasrara. And there are nadis inside also. Inside the Sushumna Nadi, you have the Vajra Nadi and Sukra Nadi and so many things according to the yoga. And we really don't know the significance of all this. So there is a black hole existing in everybody, like just like in the universe, there is a black hole or a wormhole also.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Swamiji relates black hole and genetic center. Similarities are there between the two. Mangai, you have a question?
Yes, Dr. Rabindranath, thank you for shedding light on some complex matters. I understood some things. Now, I have a simple question. In several places in our literature, it says that the Mooladhara, the genetic center, and the soul are the same. If they are the same, why do we have different names? And if they are different, then what are the differences?
The God in our Tamil culture is addressed with 1008 names, Sahasranama. Each name depicts a special character of God by that name. It all means to the same God, characters of the same God, but they are not identical, they are not the same, they are different. Like that, the soul, Atma, and the life
Genetic
force,
center.
Ojas, genetic center are all different expressions, closely related, but each have a different, clear differences between them. You
It's the
cannot use
nuanced
Ojas in the
differences.
place of vital fluid, though
Yes.
Ojas comes out of the vital fluid.
But
It is
for
minor difference, it doesn't matter much.
Okay.
You can take it that they all mean the same.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. Can we conclude the session and proceed
with pleasure
in the next webinar ஐயா? Okay ஐயா.
Okay.
To conclude the session, now I request PhD scholar Subhashini to render the vote of thanks.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Happy evening, everyone. It is a great honor for me to deliver vote of thanks of this webinar. I extend my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. M.B. Rabindranath Iyer, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace the event. Our sincere thanks to Dr. A. Jayaprakash and Sudandra Devi ma'am for sharing their inspiring knowledge in this webinar. A special thanks to our Vision Director, Dr. K. Perumalaya, for organizing this webinar. Really, this event has empowered us, our knowledge kendra. I would like to thank all our research supervisors who take part in this event. And I must thank the organizing team, volunteers, and active participants to make this webinar successful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma. உலக நல வாழ்த்து. உலகமெல்லாம் பருவமழை ஒத்தபடி பெய்யட்டும், உழவரெல்லாம் தானியத்தை உவப்புடனே பெருக்கட்டும், பல தொழில்கள் புரிகின்ற பாட்டாளி உயரட்டும், கலகங்கள் போட்டி பகை கடந்தாட்சி நடக்கட்டும், கல்லாமை கடன் வறுமை கலங்கங்கள் மறையட்டும், நலவாழ்வை அளிக்கும் மெய் ஞான ஒளி வீசட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும். வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you for your participation.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
ரவீந்திரநாத் சார், நம்ம மிச்சம் இருக்கிறது எல்லாமே டேக் இட் டு நெக்ஸ்ட் செஷன் அப்படின்னு ஒன்னொன்னா கொண்டு போகலாம் சார். எல்லாம் அடுத்து நீங்க எல்லாமே we will proceed further in the next third Sunday வரும்போது நம்ம அப்படியே கன்டினியூ பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார். கன்டினியூ பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
அம்மா ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா, நீங்க ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு உங்களை பாக்குறோம். நீங்க வந்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா, நல்ல இன்டராக்ஷன். ஜெயபிரகாஷ் சார், தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். இந்த செஷனே, இந்த ஈவினிங் செஷனே உங்களுக்காக அந்த டைம் வச்சிருக்கோம். அவசியம்
தேங்க்யூ சார்
வந்து கொஞ்சம் கலந்துக்குங்க. ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு நம்ம நிறைய இன்புட் கொடுக்கணும். ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு.
தேங்க்யூ சார். சண்முகவேலு இல்லையா? அவர்
இன்னைக்கு சண்முகவேலு ஏதோ வேற ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் இந்த சமயத்துல வந்துச்சு போட்டுருங்க, அதனால வர முடியலன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. நம்ம வந்து அடுத்த மீட்டிங்க்கு முன்னாடி மேடம் நம்ம ஒரு 4-5 பேர் கொஞ்சம் சில விஷயங்கள் பேசிட்டு நம்ம இங்க விட்டு கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும் மேடம். Shall we do like that?
Okay.
எங்க டாக்டர் ரவீந்திரநாத் சார்,
டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் கூட சேர்த்துட்டு
Yes, sir.
நம்ம இங்க
Yes, sir.
ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி சில விஷயத்தை நம்ம கொஞ்சம் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம்னாக்கா ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் கேன்
அந்த டே இல்லாட்டி போனா some other day we can fix and do it.
Convenient to you. உங்களுக்கு கன்வீனியன்ட் சொன்னாக்க நம்ம முன்னாடி
இல்ல செய்யலாங்க. You give 2 or 3 alternative dates.
Okay,
so
okay,
that
okay.
we will arrive at a common day.
Yeah.
I'm not free. Other days are okay.
எப்படி மேடம்?
19th I'm not free.
பாரு அன்னைக்கு மட்டும் நம்ம எல்லாத்தையும் கேட்டு வச்சுக்கிறோம். எல்லாத்தையும் கேட்டுட்டு ஒரு கன்வீனியன்ட் டேட் 2 டேட் ஃபார்மேட் கன்வீனியன்ட் கேட்டுட்டு வச்சுக்கலாம் மேடம். ஜெயபிரகாஷ் போய் கேட்டலாம். ஜெயபிரகாஷ் சார் which will be convenient to you? You are far away.
Sunday will be the ideal day for me. Any Sundays will be ideal days.
Oh, Sunday will be ideal to you. Okay.
What time, sir?
Which time?
This is the perfect time, sir. This is the perfect time, sir.
Oh, right. Same time.
The 3 to 6 is ideal for him. Sunday is ideal.
A very ideal time, sir. Thank you very
much. Which Sunday நம்ம ஒன்னு முடிவு பண்ணிக்கலாம் மேடம்.
Are we talking about the book, sir? Are we talking about the book or something else?
Not about the book. We are talking
not
about
today.
Okay.
Yeah. Book நீங்க ஒரு டேட் வச்சிருக்கீங்களா சொல்லுவோம்.
Okay.
நீங்க புக் சம்பந்தமா டாக்டர் ஜெயபிரகாஷ் ஏதாவது பேசலாம். This right.
ஆமா, yes, Dr. Jayaprakash.
Sir, எனக்கு book பத்தி தெரியல சார். கொஞ்சம் explain பண்ணுங்க, எனக்கு புரியல.
So I've actually sent you a couple of emails based on the presentations that you have made on Kayakalpa and aging.
Oh.
I've already sent you the emails along.
When did you send it? When did you send it, Mangai?
I was more than a month ago. So
oh, I'm sorry.
I'll send them to you again. That's not a problem.
Please, you know why? I was not well. I was in the hospital for 5 days.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I didn't see much email. I'm back to normal.
Yeah, that must have kind
last
of
month I didn't
gone
see
down
much
the black hole.
Email.
You please resend the mail and again remind me.
I'll resend the mail. So the whole idea is we are putting together a book on the science of Kayakalpa, and the authors are all 4 of you right now. All the people who are talking, and we have a meeting once in a month, the 4th Saturday of a month.
Good.
And if
and you are writing the book, yeah?
No, you will be writing your chapter.
Oh, I thought you are compiling the book.
I can help you do it if you want.
She is editing.
I'm editing, but I can help you write
nice.
if you want.
It will be nice. Somebody you edit like that, we will put in.
Yeah. I'm the editor, but I can help you in any other way. No, that's
that
not
will
a problem.
Be good.
Yeah.
That will be good.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy to participate in that.
That's great. That's really wonderful.
I'm sorry I didn't answer your email.
That's not a problem. I completely understand. So I'll resend the emails. Another thing is, since you want Sunday meetings, should I change our meetings from Saturday to Sunday?
Saturday, what time you are thinking of it?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock will be about 11:30 a.m. for you.
Oh, for 11:30 Saturday. So I work one Saturday a month, so rest of the Saturdays I'm free. That's okay.
Okay. So
I can let you know which Saturday I'm free.
I've sent you a WhatsApp message.
3rd Saturday of the month. Yeah.
The 4th Saturday. I've sent you a WhatsApp message also today.
Then 4th Saturday, this coming month, 4th Saturday, I will be in Chennai. I'll coming to India.
Oh, okay.
You're most welcome. You can come here to earlier. We'll have discussed here itself.
After 2 months
that's
break,
wonderful.
I'm coming to India on the 4th Saturday of the month for 8 days. I'll be there. And most likely, I would like to visit earlier this time. I hope I will.
Most welcome, sir. If possible, come here.
Yeah, if doctor is coming to earlier, all of us can come there on that.
Please, that will be great. Then we can have even a webinar session with the scientists that I can link them with them as well. Yeah,
Okay. So it is also coming very soon.
That will be because I'm planning to come. I will tell you the dates.
Exactly. I was just going to ask you that. Can you send us the dates? Reply to my email, and in that you
I will be coming there on the 26th of February.
Okay.
in Chennai, and I'll be there until 6th Sunday,
Okay.
6th of March. So one of those days, definitely we will do that. And also, I will like to come to all your one of those days. It will be very nice. I will, with all your what you call convenient date, we can make one day.
Okay.
We will have a
So-
physical meetings.
Yes, I like to do a face-to-face meeting in Alia. It's been a long time since I've been to Alia.
We've been planning to meet for a long time. Still
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. It's so nice to meet you all face to face again.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice to see you after your illness.
Well,
Yeah,
since that has been
I
sorted,
had a laser prostate surgery for 2
Oh.
days at the hospital. You wouldn't believe it. My urologist said, I'm the fastest recovered man in his experience.
Oh,
You know
That
what
is-
I told him? Thanks to Kayakalpa.
yes, I guessed as much.
He was coming to me and discharging me on the second day. You are the fastest recovered person in the laser thing. Can you do a pelvic floor exercise? He asked, he told me. I said, I've been doing it 15 years, sir.
Wonderful.
That's my own experience of Kayakalpa in recovery after prostate surgery.
Excellent.
This is why I was trying to contact Dr. Shanmughavelu about
Yes,
this.
he
but
is
didn't
also one
answer
of the
my-
authors. He is also
Yeah,
one
he
of
didn't
the
answer
authors.
me. You know, when I was in the hospital, I tried to contact Dr. Shanmughavelu about Kayakalpa and the prostate surgery. And he didn't, I don't know whether he got my message. I didn't get any message back from him.
Actually, he didn't see his messages for a very long time because he did answer my email too.
Oh, sorry.
And then,
like me, I was out
then
of action
it
for
got
10 days.
lost again in the black hole.
Yeah.
So
Because-
later we figured out that he had not seen it, and then I resent the email.
And you wouldn't believe it, my experience with my surgery and urology, he said, you have done something magic in your mind. I said, nothing magic, it's just the Kayakalpa. I told him that.
Right.
Because after 4.5 hour surgery, next day I started walking around and doing everything. That's good.
Good.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, so I'll, since that's all sorted out, I'll let you go back to whatever you were discussing before I interrupted you.
Absolutely. No. That's fine. So you will let us start. What is the title of the book name?
Tentatively, the subject is Science of Kayakalpa.
Okay.
That's
oh,
the
good.
subject.
Science of Kayakalpa is a very good topic.
Amanga, you can translate the speech, what he has done here.
No, I've already done that.
Send it to him, let him make a correction, give it to you for editing.
Yeah.
That will be easy for you because instead of he writing everything, he may not be having time for everything.
Can you please resend
No, I'll
the
help in
email
whichever
to
way
me?
possible, sir.
Can you please resend the email, Mangai? Sorry about that. Can you please resend the email?
No problems. It's great to finally meet you because you were the one person who was not in the meetings.
Links.
So it's great to
Okay.
meet you today.
I'm sorry about that.
And the best thing
problem.
about you is that you talk with a smile all the time.
Mangai,
Oh,
everyone is waiting for us.
Yes, sir.
Everyone is waiting for us. Let us
We will conclude, sir.
we'll
Thank
meet
you.
again. We will meet separately.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Thank you.
டாக்டர் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்.
Thank you, madam.
டாக்டர் எபிஆர் சார் வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
ஜெயபிரகாஷ் சார், thank you, sir. Thank you very much. வாழ்க
Thank you, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். சாந்திமா, கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணிக்கலாம்ல சாந்தி?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can conclude this